Welcome back to DN, and today we're going to talk about ownership. So whilst the majority of the time people are arguing over wages and taxes, the real issue, the real divide is a divide of ownership. Most people ever increasingly don't own their home, they pay rent, they don't own their car, they finance their car. They have little in terms of assets. People are using their salary, their wages to live on, month to month, week to week in some cases. Ownership is declining, and wages have not risen in line with productivity since the late 1970s. So whilst the working class is relying on its wages for its livelihood, that is not seeing a sustained increase in standards of living, and that is due to the ownership of the economy and of society. And the working classes are owning increasingly less as their wages and the purchasing power with these wages is declining. And simultaneously, whilst wages are declining or stagnant in some cases, asset ownership is massively inflated. So people with assets, businesses with assets, individuals, wealthy families are seeing their net worths increase massively, while simultaneously meaning that the working classes, the middle classes, are having to pay more for the goods and services and housing, etc., that is owned by these people. It's a cycle, it's a perpetuating cycle whereby the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. These two things are not separate. The rich are getting richer because the poor are getting poorer, right? At any one time, there is only a set amount of money in an economy. At any one single moment, the economy is a zero-sum game. So if someone's getting richer, someone's getting poorer. This is a basic accounting principle, right? If you are living off just wages and you're living month to month, you are living week to week, you're running on a treadmill that's getting quicker and quicker and quicker. And it's getting to the point now where some people are falling off, they can't keep up. So what is the solution? The solution is, as I mentioned earlier, we look at ownership. We need to look at collective ownership. Now that doesn't mean that the state will own every single thing that you have, your clothing, your pens, your food. But what it does mean is that we have more control over our communities, that we have ownership of housing, that there's a reintroduction of public spaces into society, something that has been stripped and taken away over the years by neoliberalism. So collective ownership can happen, but it needs to be collectively agreed, collectively bargained for. It needs to be something that society en masse is demanding. Collective ownership is not about taking your stuff. It's about where do the profits that we all generate, that we all pay into, where do they flow? Where do these cash flows, where do these profits end up? And at the moment, it's ever increasingly in the hands of a small and ever increasingly smaller and smaller number of people, number of individuals. Collective ownership is about essentially redistribution to ensure that we all have a good quality of life and that none of us are priced out of the essentials of life. And until we talk about ownership, we're not talking about the causes, we're talking about the symptoms. Ownership is the key.